Good morning, Manhasset. My name is Rashaun Gardner, and as we wrap up the 2023 school year, there are four very important individuals that made Manhasset's past and current years very special. These individuals made Manhasset safer, entertaining, and grounded with their bright smiles and beaming personality. Let's meet our first retiree, Sean Adcroft.
Mine is he's hysterical. Many people don't realize that he was a comedian in the past. So if you see him walking in the hallways, he appears as rather put together, very serious, very, concerned about the technological safety of the school, which he is, of course. But when you really know Dr. Adcroft, he is full of jokes, kind, compassionate, good-humored, and always will make sure you have a smile on your face.
Helpful. I don't think we would have gotten through the last definitely 4 years, but probably the last 15 years since I've been here without Dr. Adcroft.
I think everyone would agree that is hard work. He goes above and beyond every day. I don't even think he sleeps because he is always here. Whenever I'm in school early or if I stay late, he's still here. And he just has so many responsibilities, and I just am in awe constantly how he handles them all.
He is also very passionate with everything that he does, with his friendship and his caring, his work ethic, his humor. Lots of words come to mind.
He is surprisingly hilarious. Like, you think he'd be super technical, but he is a funny man.
Dr. Adcroft is probably the most committed person when it comes to making sure that our whole program works. Instructional technology is the backbone of everything that we do. And without Dr. Adcroft's commitment to making sure that all of the pieces are working, we wouldn't be able to provide the experience that we're providing. So he's the most committed person that I know.
I have a million funny stories about Dr. Adcroft, but the best story that I have is came from before I was really hired as a teacher, when I was still just here as a TA and had done some work for the testing center, which some of you know very well. And I was applying for jobs to work here, and Sean spoke to me about it and basically recommended what I do and how I do it, and said that this would be a great thing to potentially get a job. And I really think that his encouragement and working for it led to me being here as a teacher.
For me, Dr. Adcroft is a kind, compassionate person. He's known by my children as Uncle Elmo because of he does voices. So through the pandemic, actually, we met every Friday on Zoom, Dr. Adcroft, Ms. Panula and I, and then another one of our dear friends, and we would just have fun, and my kids would pop in and he would do Elmo impersonations, and he just brings humor, and he's always there for me and my family.
He is always a big supporter of all my activities in the library. So the first year I did the book mystery guessing contest, he came down and he looked at the tree I make with all the books, and he made all these calculations. He spent about 10-15 minutes looking around the tree and walking around making these calculations, and I figured, oh, he's gonna get the exact number of the books in the tree. And then when the guessing came out and I saw how many books were in it, he was way off, and I was laughing. But the next year, he was spot on, and I think he actually won that year. So whatever he did wrong, he figured it out, and the next year, he won.
I am always touched at how Dr. Adcroft is the first one to reach out if one of us is in need. He's always there to help with whatever any of us might need, whether it's dinner or a ride or helping someone move furniture or something. He's always going to be there for you, so he's a good friend.
He is the epitome of determination and perseverance. He doesn't let anything get him down. I think we all know there's been a lot of technology issues in the school, and through it all, he kept his calm and just was a true leader.
Dr. Adcroft is an all-around great guy. He really helps out with any questions we have. He's patient, he's understanding, he's a problem solver. There is nothing that I've seen in this entire district that he cannot do when he needs to do it, and he's done just about everything, and I don't know how we're going to fill his shoes.
Again, he was used to be the middle school librarian here before he moved into position as head of the technological department. So he is an advocate for literacy, for student voice, for creativity, for exploration of experiences through reading literature. He just has contributed so much and done so behind the scenes. So I think he doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
He's a friend, he's a good person, and I'm proud to know him.
I personally think I can speak on behalf of the entire district when I say that he is our protector. When we enter our 17-digit password with special characters 29 times a day, he ensures that we're safe. Nothing's gonna happen.
He has just always been supportive of me as a librarian. He has supported all of the book orders that I make and all of the different programs I have in the library, the March Book Madness and Free Comic Book Day and all of my displays. And for me, that just means, he supports literacy and reading, and I couldn't be more grateful.
Sean, we're gonna miss you a lot here, and wherever you go, just know that you'll always have a home here, and I hope we don't need you, but we might be calling.
Well, we're delighted to say that we will not be saying goodbye to Dr. Adcroft. He is always a very going to be a fixture in our lives and the lives of our families. But I can speak for many and say he will be sorely missed here at Manhasset High School.
Thank you for all of your hard work. You've put so much into this district, and we will have a lot of adventures with you like we have had in the past, so it's not goodbye, but congratulations.
And enjoy a rest, because we know you are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week here, and you can finally relax.
Sean, I wish you nothing but the best, and I know you'll be successful in anything that you take on.
Dr. Adcroft, congratulations on your retirement. It's very well deserved. Enjoy it.
Some of you may know her as the backbone of the school, and some of you may not. This individual is the sole reason why Manhasset still stands. Miss Chrissy Shabelia, Secretary.
Selfless, kind, empathetic, generous, hardworking. I know you said one word, but it's so hard to describe her in one word.
Can you explain why you chose those words?
Oh God, why describe those words? Because she just is. She's a rock star. She's a go-getter. She wants to make sure that everyone is okay in their position, in their work, and she will do anything in her power to help someone and to make their jobs easier.
Generous and selfless. It's because she's just so giving and wanting to help absolutely everybody, and she will drop everything that she's doing to make sure that somebody gets what they need first.
Overachieving, because she does it all and kind of there's not enough time in the day, seemingly, to get all the things done that Chrissy does for everybody. And she finds time in her day to do it, and then when she doesn't, she does it later in the day or on her own time. But always know it's going to get done.
The first word that comes to mind when I think of Miss Shabelia is organized. She always had everything very put together.
Manhasset would be completely different if Mrs. Shabelia was not here. Every time I walk to her office, 7:30 and 8 a.m., she is always running around, and she never sits. I've told her countless times, can I just take her chair and take it home, because she never used it. I always see her standing, and I always tell her all the time, when I see her outside her office, it is the weirdest thing, because she is just always in her office, always doing something.
Passionate. Miss Shabelia will go out of her way to make sure that everything is just right. And she does it with a smile.
The first words I think of when I think of Miss Shabelia are Energizer Bunny extraordinaire. And I don't know if anyone else has said that, but she is, to me, the Energizer Bunny of Manhasset. Always doing 18 things at once, and somehow managing to keep them all organized. And you're shaking your head, so I think you probably agree, because I've seen you in her office a lot of times, and they're always multiple things going on at once that she just seemingly has her hands on and manages to control. So that's always been, yeah. And the wonderful thing about Miss Shabelia is she is always willing to help. Even though she's got 18 things going on at once, she's always got room for 19. And it's almost like she never says no. She's just always being there and willing to help out. And I guess one of her great contributions to the school has been to keep Dr. Schlanger organized.
Funny or favorite story. So Mrs. Shabelia and I have become very, very close over the past 10 years, on a work level and a personal level. So while I have many, many funny and embarrassing stories about Mrs. Shabelia, I am going to have to plead the fifth because Mrs. Shabelia is retiring, but I am not. So I'm going to have to keep those stories.
We just got so excited for hosting our Boo Bag fundraiser this year. We just had so much fun doing it. I wouldn't say it's a funny story, but every time that we would get some idea, we just get so excited and hype each other up. It was just so much fun.
One of my favorite memories with Mrs. Shabelia is the morning announcements. She goes, we have this many birthdays, and this is how you pronounce the last names. I cannot pronounce anyone's last name on the announcements correctly. And she goes, this is how you say it, and she walks me through it. And then when it's time for me to go on the announcements, it is completely different, and I always seem to mess it up. And then at the corner of my eye, I just see her just look at me and be like, what? And it's just, we are always laughing together, and it's just those moments right there that I cherish the most.
I would say the embarrassing story is more embarrassing for me in that over the last 2 years in the role that I'm in for as far as scheduling supervisors, Chrissy seems to be the only one that I don't let know when a game gets canceled. And there's at least 2 occasions where a game was canceled and I didn't let you know, and I apologize for that.
What does she mean to you as a person?
Oh, everything. She really is someone who's going to be genuinely missed here. Her presence is going to be missed. As a person, she is just a dear friend, reliable, someone I can always count on. And literally, whether it's for a pick-me-up, for a piece of chocolate at my desk one day when I come back from lunch, or she's dropping off a Diet Coke because she knows that I was tired in the morning and I needed a little caffeine. Really, really just selfless, constantly thinking about other people before herself.
I always appreciated the fact that she was an ear to listen to and somebody that I could go to.
The impact that Chrissy Shabelia has had on Manhasset students, faculty, and staff alike is really not going to be realized or known until she's gone. The endless amount of work and tasks that she has been doing over the years is really not going to be able to be replaced by one person, and we're sorely going to miss her. And whoever has to try and fill her shoes is in a really tough position.
She is just been such a light for me. We only really got to really working with each other throughout Key Club over the last 2 years, but she has just really impacted me because she is just, like I've said before, so selfless, so generous, so much fun. She's just a bright light that I needed more than I knew, and I'm just going to really miss her come next year.
Mrs. Shabelia, I think, has had a hand in everything. She literally is the face of the secondary school as far as what the first person you see when you walk into the office. And anyone who drops off a timesheet or needs a parking spot or, clearly any question that needs to be answered, whether it's a student, faculty, or staff, Ms. Shabelia answers it. And she has the wealth of knowledge that it's going to be hard to replace.
In addition to keeping things organized, Ms. Shabelia is really good with details. Very, very good with details, and honestly has an incredible memory, because even not having been here for a few years, I come back and I'll mention something and she's got it right there, and she remembers things and people and places, and it's great. She's always been a great resource because of that. And again, she's another person who does so much behind the scenes here at school, and I don't think most people realize how much she's involved in, like other people that I've mentioned, but so many little things behind the scenes that get done, and that if they weren't done, things wouldn't, kind of work as smoothly as they do. So I think that's been one of her great contributions to the school.
I think Miss Shabilia has had a huge impact on Manhasset, just as far as being kind of like the driving force in, communication from the school and everything coming out of the main office. She really is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, as I said, Miss Shabilia is what makes the wheels turn in this building. So everything that Dr. Schlanger does, everything that, whether it's graduation or it's driver's education or it's the morning announcements, everything goes through Miss Shabilia.
Mrs. Shabilia is probably one of the sole reasons why Manhasset is running. Mrs. Shabilia does a million things at the same time, and she executes them beautifully. And she's so organized, and it's just one of those things that Manhasset's going to miss the most.
I just cannot believe that she is leaving. I am going to miss her so terribly much. I think all of Manhasset will realize the impact that she made on this building, on this place, and how far her reach went through the kids, through the faculty, through the staff. She's just been such a support system that I think we're not going to realize how much we needed her until she's been gone.
Mrs. Shabilia, Chrissy, my dear friend, you mean the world to me, and you know that, and I'm going to have a very difficult time next year, as I'm sure the entire school community will miss you tremendously. We wish you all the success and love and luck and fun and sunshine in your retirement. We love you.
I really hope you enjoy your retirement. You are very worthy and deserving of it, and I wish we could trade places.
Chrissy, I hope you enjoy retirement. You've worked really, really hard, and enjoy the peace and quiet, and I'm sure a lot of sunshine.
Mama Shabilia, thank you so much for everything you've done here. I'm so proud of you. You've worked so hard, and all that work has paid off. And you can finally go to Bali. So I wish you the best of luck in retirement, and I will come visit you wherever you are.
She's always been a tremendous help to me and the counselors. And I guess, Chrissy, if we're just kind of getting down to the final end, I just hope your retirement is happy, peaceful, joyous, and the one thing, don't ever lose, you have the greatest laugh I've ever heard. Bye.
Love you.
This next retiree is a person who makes sure you guys have spectacular spring scream and lavish proms. She's a coordinator of world languages, ENL, and student activities. Mrs. Lori Marshall-Loria has also decided to leave her legacy at Manhasset.
The first word that comes to my mind when I think of Mrs. Loria is determined. I think that everyone in yearbook can say this, that she is such a determined woman in everything that she does. For our yearbook especially, she was so determined to help us get that vision that we had. Even in just the work that she does, she always has some type of focus or some type of vision in how she wants to get it done, and she won't stop until that can be achieved.
I can attest to that because I've been in her office numerous times during the year, and there is a new task that had to be done that period for that day, and without her and her determination and her stronghold, if I can say, the yearbook would not be done. And personally, I think it's one of the best yearbooks we've had, because we never had two books in one that can turn into two. So, thank you. And she is like a mother to me. I do call her Mama Loria. And she's like a best friend to me, a mother to me as well, and of course an administrator. But having that bond with her and having that mother-son bond, it just makes it even more incredible.
The word that comes to mind when I think of Miss Loria is classy. She's always very put together, dressed impeccably. She's great.
Strength. She is one of the strongest people I know.
Ski idol. Miss Loria is my ski idol. She's the only person I know that had skied at 6 major resorts in 5 days. And I don't know anyone else who has the energy for that. So once I had the fleeting thought that it'd be great to ski one day with Miss Loria, But I realized that would never happen because she would leave me behind in a snow shower. I'd be way up high and she'd be already down having lunch. But yes, so she's my ski idol.
Committed to the kids of Manhasset, because Miss Loria goes out of her way to make sure that any of the newcomers that come into Manhasset from out of the country who are English language learners feel welcome, feel supported, and feel loved. And she is the most committed person that I've met when it comes to E&L learners.
Miss Loria, though, has really been great to work with. All the years that I was here, she's a problem solver. She cuts to the chase. She gets things done, so it was always it was wonderful working with her. And again, very supportive of my efforts, and it was really nice.
She's really someone you can always go to, and she's especially that person.
She can weather all storms, literally and figuratively. Skiing here at Manhasset, she has shown that she can go through it all, and that strength is inspiring.
She's working behind the scenes with lots of people, lots of moving parts, and all of the different organizations she's got her hand in, because she's the one who kind of puts that all together. So I don't think many people realize what that entails, to work with all the different groups and organizations that exist in the school. And obviously those things are a major part of the school and activities for the students, and she's very instrumental in all of that.
I think Mrs. Loria is one of the most impactful people here, involved in so many things, from students to teachers, and just inspiring change. And I think that she goes beyond her role to really make connections.
When I first got here to Manhasset, Miss Loria was very welcoming and really helped me out as far as being a new administrator, and she was somebody that I really looked up to when I got here. I think Miss Loria has had a huge impact on Manhasset, especially with all the work that she's done, not only with world languages, but student activities. She always put the joy and excitement of students out there, and it was something that she took a lot of pride in.
In addition to working behind the scenes with all of the different activities in the school, each year I think one of her crowning achievements is graduation. Getting graduation off the ground, getting anywhere from 240 to 290, 300 seniors to walk in straight lines and to know where their seats are before, during, and after the ceremony has always been a crowning achievement of graduation. And she has some help doing it, but it's a lot of work. And again, lots and lots of little things behind the scenes that no one ever realizes go into putting graduation ceremonies together. So I've always been very impressed about how beautiful the ceremony is and how it always seems to come off without much of a hitch.
Miss Loria has impacted Manhasset in a number of different ways. The E&L students I already spoke about. The next piece of that is really student activities. And, she's a cheerleader for Manhasset. She works behind the scenes very hard to make sure that the prom goes off without a hitch. The homecoming, senior banquet, spirit week, all of those things don't just happen. Miss Loria is the one that's behind the scenes doing all of the legwork to make sure that those events are smooth.
I don't know that it's a funny story, but people often got our footsteps confused for each other when we were coming down the hallway in heels. So I was often called Miss Loria.
Special message in italiano. Sì, ti auguro felicità. Ti auguro sogni e ambizioni di spiegare le tue ali e raggiungere le stelle. Ti auguro avventura e curiosità di andare dove non c'è sentiero e lasciare una scia. Ti auguro salute e benessere perché valgono più di tutte le ricchezze del mondo. Ti auguro pace e tranquillità, ascoltare gli uccelli e guardare le stelle. Ti auguro successo e prosperità, di credere in te stessa e nelle tue capacità. Ti auguro una famiglia e degli amici perché sono le più grandi fonti di felicità nella vita. Ti auguro gioia e risate e di ridere molto forte finché non ti manchi il respiro e tanta neve. Ti auguro amore e affetto per riempire il tuo bel cuore con un oceano di gioia. Ti auguro tutte queste cose meravigliose, ma soprattutto ti auguro felicità.
My final wish for you, Lori, is that there are lovely mountains all over the world waiting for you to ski, and I hope you get to as many of them as possible with your family, and don't break a leg.
Lori, I wish you the best in your retirement. I'm sure you will be keeping active with many things to do, and enjoy every minute of it.
Finally, this individual is the one who runs it all. With his fist bumps and being personality, our principal, Dr. Schlanger, is also leaving Manhasset, leaving his mark behind.
I want to say two. I want to say passion and integrity. The man, he loves Manhasset. He's worked here. I couldn't tell you how many years, and he's done everything he could to make this, to make Manhasset what it is today. Without him, like the school would not be where it is. And honestly, he's like the glue that holds everything together. He has handled everything, to my understanding, with such respect and integrity and intensity that he allows Manhasset to be what it is. And I can't think of enough. And just the integrity part of it is that he is a man of value, and he is a man of morals, and he does what's right, not what's easy. And he's a good man. He's a good man.
The first time I saw Dr. Schlanger, he was walking across the field because the day he arrived here, I believe we had a fire drill, or we had some other reason that took everyone outside, and there was a lockdown perhaps, but no one was coming on campus, and there he was walking across the field towards all of us, and none of us knew that that was the new principal of the school. So that was my first sight of Dr. Schlanger. And as I got to know him, I said, well, we have a lot in common. Primarily, he likes Bruce Springsteen. So when I knew he liked Bruce Springsteen, I thought, well, we'll give this guy a shot. And then I found out, well, several years later, that he also liked the ravioli from the Bronx. So between the ravioli and the Bruce Springsteen, we kind of had we hit it off. Dr. Schlanger, you should be very lucky. I never held against you that you were from Philadelphia, or that you cheer for the Philadelphia teams. But, I've never expressed that concern to Dr. Schlanger.
Until now.
Well, not till now, but now it's okay to share that.
The first word that comes to mind about Dr. Schlanger is mentor. I learned a lot from him while I was here working with him, and it is an experience that I wouldn't give up for anything.
Best dressed man in Manhasset.
Dr. Schlanger has this presence that every time he walks into a room, everyone just instantly has a smile on their face, and the room just gets 10 times brighter. He always greets you in the hallway with a fist bump or with a high five, or even points at you, and you just know that you feel loved instantly right then and there.
Dr. Schlanger and I had a lot of laughs, because you have to laugh your way through this sometimes. I don't know if I'm going to share any of them, but we definitely kept each other smiling, and he was always reminding me that laughter is important.
One of my favorite memories that I had of Dr. Schlanger was when him and I helped a student with a proposal during senior prom. The prank was that Dr. Schlanger had called down a student from the middle of his class period and brought him to his office and made it seem like he was messing with this kid outside of school. And we had the prom day take pictures of his book bag at a lower angle, saying it was a middle schooler who had sent in a complaint, and she was hiding in his bathroom, and I had like confetti. And when the question was popped, I threw the confetti, and it was just a really funny proposal, and then I made a video out of it and sent it to both of them, and it was just a very fun memory that I had about Dr. Schlanger. And also, some of my favorite memories of Dr. Schlanger is when I just popped in his office and I could be in the middle of band class, and I would just pop in, say a couple words, we'll chat for like 15 minutes, and I would head back to class. And it was just like those small moments that I had with him that will be with me for the rest of my life.
Too many. Anything. Like my favorite time of year, I'd have to say with him was without a doubt when football was in season, because every week I'd meet up with him and we just talk fantasy football for a period. I'd say I'm having a meeting with Schlager, my teacher. I'd go. I'd be like, all right, so this is what we got going on this week. Who should I start? And then, I mean, probably the worst part was I lost in the playoffs to A.J. Brown on the Eagles, and probably the most embarrassing part of him is that he is an Eagles fan for some reason. But, oh my gosh, the fantasy football season was awesome. And then I'd have to also just say that, I mean, like, just working over the years with him, I mean, I can't thank him enough for helping me get St. Baldrick's in the school that year. We weren't able to bring it in this year, but it was awesome the year we were able to get it done in the school. And then it's just, yeah, we just had, like, even when making jokes, like, I learned to just negotiate and just speak more profoundly with him. And I mean, I wasn't able to get us a snow day, which he still busts my chop for to this day. Hey, he's like, that's the least impressive he's seen my negotiating skills. He's he's helped me with so much in the school, and like from trying to design the spa, fantasy football. We've talked about everything. It's awesome.
In my experience, Dr. Schlanger has always been about students. Honestly, he's always had a big heart for students and what would really be right for them in a lot of different ways. And one of the things I looked at before coming for the interview, I looked back at an old high school profile from 2008, which I think was Dr. Schlanger's first year, the 7-8 school year, not quite sure. But just alone in what's changed over the years. And in that year, I believe there were 18 AP classes offered here at the high school, and now there are 25. So in working with the teachers and the coordinators, one of the things that Dr. Schlanger has really done while he's been here is really grow the academic programs.
Dr. Schlanger loves Manhasset, and it's clear in every single thing that he does. And I think that when you talk to Dr. Schlanger about Manhasset, you just see him beam with pride. And it comes from his years of dedicated service to the kids.
I think as a person, Dr. Schlanger served as a wonderful role model for me. We came through very similar paths, having both started in counseling, so we had a lot in common. And just to see the trajectory that he took throughout his career inspired me to be able to want to move further and see that even though I necessarily didn't start in the front of a classroom, didn't mean that I couldn't be an effective administrator. So he is definitely a role model.
He's a role model. He's like I said before, he's a great man. He's a good man. He's a man of principle, of morals, of family. He loves what he does. He's there for you. Ooh, I mean, he offered to write a letter of recommendation, and without that, I don't know if I would have even got into the Air Force Academy. So I have him to thank for my future. Yeah, he means. It's like it's weird to say. He's like we started off our relationship just as he's the principal, I'm the student. I'm asking him for a favor to get St. Baldrick's here. We started it off like that, and now he's a friend. I really would consider him a friend for life, and I know we're gonna stay in contact. And our relationship really just has grown, and it's awesome being able to just talk to him and just talk to him about anything. It's just sick.
He's a father to me because I could ask him about anything, talk to him about anything. He helps me with the college process or my college recommendation letter, and gave me really, really good advice on where I should go, and he gave me good advice of what I should do in life. And he has been that father that anyone would love to have. Dr. Schlanger has made a huge impact on the cast of her. Everyone knows him and everyone loves him. When he enters into the room, everyone's just 10 times happier. And Dr. Schlanger overall is just a beat of light.
He always supported me, supported the counselors, and that was really always important to know that he had our backs. Really all the time had our backs. I think he took a stand, again, for students. And if students were in need of something, he really went out of his way to make sure that things were taken care of. And, so he's had a big heart, and he's been a good friend to me personally.
Honestly, nothing that embarrassing. He tries. I'm sure he keeps that to himself. Probably the most embarrassing thing about him is, without a doubt, the time. Is that he's an Eagles fan. That's probably the most embarrassing thing about him. I mean, like, how can you be an Eagles fan? But yeah, that's nothing too embarrassing, sadly.
When I think of one word, as I was asked to describe him, it really is character. So Dr. Schlanger and I started together in 1998 at Hauppauge High School. He was an assistant principal, I was a dean, and then we were both assistant principals for a few years until he assumed the principalship of Hauppauge High School. And that really started a 22-year relationship where he was the head coach, the boss, and I was his offensive coordinator. I was his right-hand man. And it worked well. You know, he told me what he wanted done. We agreed, we disagreed, and we had a lot of successes. Whether it was test scheduling, whether it was proms, discipline policies, master scheduling things, we really worked well together. We spent a lot of time outside the building as well as the time we spent inside. You are truly a friend and a mentor, and I'm glad that we still are together.
Dr. Schlanger, can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me over the years. It truly has been an honor getting to know you and having our relationship grow to what it is today. I can't thank you enough. You're a good man, a man most people only wish they could be and kids should look up to. I wish nothing but the best for you, even though you're leaving Manhasset. I mean, I understand you're leaving because I'm leaving, but I get it. It's tough to be here without me. I'm gonna miss it. It's definitely, I'm gonna miss our little conversations, little interactions. Yeah, I'm gonna miss you, Dr. Schlanger. You were, I could never have dreamed of what we would be at this point going in. I would have ever thought, I didn't even think I'd probably get to know you much going into middle school or high school. And here we are, and I consider you a dear friend of mine. And just thank you. You're nothing but good to me, and you're nothing but good to this school. It's been an honor and a privilege working with you and getting to know you over the past 4 years. I wish nothing but the best. Thank you.
Dean, I hope you know the impact that you have had on this school and community for many, many years. And I can guarantee that it will go unmatched as you leave here, know the lasting impression that you've left on everybody, including myself. And I will continue to take everything that I learned from you and use it in my continuing journey. I wish you nothing but the best in your retirement. Enjoy every minute of it. And best of luck.
You have made a massive impact on my life, and you have made me smile day to day, night to night, and I'm really grateful that I have gotten a stronger bond with you, and I just hope that you have a wonderful retirement. And tell the kids at Buckley, who are my students, that I say hi.
Dr. Schlanger, you know that I wish you only the very best of luck. Buckley is a very, very lucky place to be having you, and I know you'll do great things there, and I hope they come to appreciate you as much as we've appreciated your efforts here. You have to promise me one thing: you're going to get out to a national park, and at the very least you've got to go out and see Crazy Horse in North Dakota and get yourself another rock.
I wanted to do my big shout out to Dr. Schlanger because I think that he's someone that I always looked up to, and I want to be just like him when I'm older. Not because I want to be a principal, because I want to be as funny as him, because I think he's just so awesome and he's always really there for the students. So I wanted to have a little shout out to Dr. Schlanger. Thank you for being the best principal. You made such a huge impact on my high school experience, so thank you, and I hope you enjoy your retirement as well.
One bit of advice: June 30th at 3 o'clock, take out that last box of memorabilia, walk out to your car, put it in the trunk, turn around and look back at the building one last time as the true principal of Manhasset Secondary School, and just know you did right, you did good, and you will be missed and valued for all that you did. It won't be replaced. So Dean, Dr. Schlanger, as your friend, as your colleague, I truly say congratulations on a job well done. Hass is going to miss you. He's going to love you. God bless.
Manhasset will miss all four of you very deeply. You are all loved and no one can erase what you did here. As we say at NBC, stay classy, Manhasset.